good, family? This is Corey, your friendly neighborhood massage technician, bringing you life, love, and liberation. And this is Healing Tones, where I come on here and bless you with some words, poetry, prose, and movements that will hopefully bring a light or blessing or good feeling to your day. Right? Right, family. So we have been on a foam rolling series. I started off earlier this week by introducing the feet and how the feet are an important aspect to how we get around, move, and like have a driving force of power in our movements, and what part they play in that, and why it's important to massage them out on a regularly or ritualized basis, however you want to put that together. And I mentioned that we're going to be going through the entire body for this series while we're sheltered in place so that y'all all have a roadmap to use in order to do your self massage works to keep you motivated and inspired to keep with your new routines of exercise for your body. Just because we're sheltered in place does not mean that we don't need to restore ourselves to our natural beginnings. And massage is one way that helps restore our body to its natural form to improve upon our positionality, our structure, or whatever, what have you. It it restores us, and we need restoration at all times because we're constantly being stressed upon. It's just life. That's life. So either way, so I am going to go through the leg work of the day. Legs. Yeah, it's probably the first time you'll ever see me wearing shorts. Relish it if you like. But yeah, gonna be working on legs today. Going through techniques that we can use to get at, say, the calves, or by name of Latin, gastrocnemius, which is of Greek origin, actually meaning stomach leg. It's gastro, stomach, kanemi, leg. So stomach of the leg is what they're saying. In front of that, the majority, or like the meat or the bulk of the calf per se, is actually the soleus, which is underneath that, which is like a thick, flat muscle. Which soleus actually is Latin for, say, this like a flat fish. It's kind of where the sole of a shoe gets its name from. It's a flat surface, and the soleus is like a very dense, flat muscle. But it is the primary driver of force within the leg. Not so much the gastrocnemius. It's more the soleus is kind of pumping up a lot of the pressure. And it's the soleus, I believe, that's also connected to the infamous Achilles heel. That is like the connecting force or connecting tendon of the power that we generate to walk around the world. And if anyone's up on basketball, you know, rest in peace, Kobe. When he got hit with his Achilles heel, when it went down, he was never the same again. Achilles himself, whom was a warrior in, I guess, Greco-Roman times. One of his downfalls was the fact that he was not, his whole body was not dipped into the waters that was to protect him. He was held up by his Achilles heel. And when they struck him with an arrow that hit him on his Achilles heel and put him down. I also guarantee that that arrow to his Achilles heel probably really hurt. Really hurt. But anyway, so that's that. You also have, stand up a little bit. I can show a little bit of these legs. the iliotibial band, ilio meaning the ischio, that anterior part here by the hip, where it starts and goes all the way down to where below the knee, where the tibia or what we call the shin starts, which is a band, a tendon band that connects the upper hip to the lower leg, and that's kind of what generates a little bit of our abductor force, extensor force, and somewhat of this. So these movements are kind of where the iliotibial band kind of gets its movements from, and it's where a lot of people tend to catch pains, and what also kind of leads to sometimes knee pain because of its close proximity. When this gets tight, it gets tight around the knee. It gets tight around the knee. So sometimes iliotibial pains can lead to knee pains. Sometimes iliotibial pains can lead to hip pains. Sometimes pains from one part of the body lead to other pains in the body. That's kind of how our body's connected. I mean, that's just what it does. So being mindful of where our pain is, the origins of our pains, the beginnings of our pains, Bereshit, in the beginning of our pains is where we need to take our focus. When we find out where the origin of our pains is, it's a lot easier for us to diagnose and treat it, because once it's gone from the beginning, it's also gone from the end. Just want you to sit with that for a little while. So the tools that we have at our disposal for today, we have a light foam roller. This is about a half foam roller. It's not too dense. It's very good for beginners to start with. It can be a beginner or advanced use, and it's more meant to roll with and roll out type of foam rolling. This here is my trigger point foam roller, and this is more of a stationary roll where I kind of let this sit on the ground and I roll over it. This is I roll on it. This is I roll over it. Okay. And the last big thing that we have for instruction today is the maps, right? Just having maps nearby. This is the trigger point map that I am using today. And again, it's just to use as a reference so that I am like in communication or understanding of where these pains may be, because this is a generalized chart of trigger point pains for most people in the body. These aren't your trigger point pains. So you may have relation to where these pains are, but they may be in different locations for you. So the map is there to show you where other people have hurt, and to also see if you hurt in those same areas. But if you don't be like, oh my God, my body's not the same as everybody else's. Who cares? That's a good thing, because that's always true. So you would have to customize this map for you, and it's writable, so you can write out where your trigger point pains are in relation to this map. So yeah, I guess I talked enough. And I'm going to show y'all a couple of techniques here that y'all can use to roll out the body. So I'm going to start off with the regular foam roller here, and just get on top. So there's several ways that you can roll out the body. One, I'm using my hands as leverage to, I guess, to release the gravity from my bum, and using my arms as the force that pulls my legs back and forth. I can do so this way. You can also do so in a way, like if you take one leg off and roll it out with the leg itself, like so, which doesn't like really get too deep, but it can be a starter way just to kind of feel around and see where your sensations are in the body. I said there's the double leg technique here. which it kind of restricts you from getting in like to any real deep areas. It's just more like kind of a general rollout of your calves. I usually go one leg at a time so that I can turn and address all sides of the leg as I'm working it out and stuff like that. So again, this is the general way of doing so. In order to create more pressure, if I wanted to like get a little deeper into the work that I'm doing, I can get closer to my body by using the heaviness of my pelvis as, I guess, a weight that's dragging my leg down into the foam roller. So the closer I get to the foam roller, the more pressure I would generate. Even so, like if I was to stand over it, like so, like this is a means to generate more pressure than it would be standing back like this. So there's one way. Another way is to use my other leg by stacking it on top or stacking it as a fulcrum and using that as a means to drive more weight into my leg. I can do so that way. Yeah, that's a good point. So usually when I tend to find points in my leg, I don't use this foam roller to address deep tissue work. I would switch over and get my trigger point foam roller, and I would use that to drive some more force into where I'm finding my trigger point pains. Like right now, I'm like in the middle of my gastro. If you're looking at this map, it's kind of like right here-ish is where my attention is drawn. And you can just sit in these areas, like in a Shavasana-like style. Once you find a good, comfortable spot to relax your body into, you don't have to do anything else. Maybe apply some more pressure by throwing the other leg on there, but just sit in there and just allow your body to fall deeper into the pains. Because in deep tissue work, it's not about how much pressure you're driving down, it's how patient you sit and allow the tissues to sink. Just like if you were at a beach and you put your feet in the sand next to the water, as the water comes up and washes the sand from underneath your feet, it draws you deeper into the sand. That's what deep tissue work is doing. You're just holding a position, and as time wanes from just like sitting in the spot, is driving you deeper into the muscle. So you don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of massage sometimes. People think that you just sit there. You're there. You're just being present in a spot. And that's what you want to do. That's why Shavasana, that thought of just letting the body go and not giving much thought to how your body is positioned, helps, because now your focus is not on your body. Your focus is on the sensation that you're feeling and trying to release from your body. I took up a lot of time with that one. And that was just the back of the leg. Hold on. I may have to do a take 2 of this, so I'm going to come back to y'all in a couple of minutes. Yes?